afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of Coptic Youth Radio Hour here on 92.3 FM, 3ZZZ. And in the studio today, we have Damiana Gabi and Mina Al Malik and his beautiful sister, Susan Al Malik, making her debut.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Mina, for the introduction. For the lovely welcome.
Thanks, Susan, for coming. Hopefully we'll have a good show today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime.
I'm really proud of you. You actually changed that intro. He was like singing the good afternoon. Yeah, like.
Should we redo it?
No.
On the program today, we have a spiritual segment. We discuss be like little children to enter the kingdom of heaven. And
then Damiana proves how to be that way in a game after.
And we also
can I just say Jesus is very
game.
forgiving, and he'll forgive you guys all
we haven't even said
it's
anything.
about to happen.
She was acting like a child, but it's not exactly what God meant by that.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Stay tuned. We played a game, a very heated game. That was Guess That Hymn. Both contestants thought they could outdo each other and name that hymn.
No. Damiana thought. I knew I would win.
Hey, we still don't know who won. Damiana could have won. You don't know. You make it sound like you're the king. You won. That's it. So guys, stay tuned for that. As always, you can listen to this program again on iTunes. We're officially on iTunes. So search Coptic Youth and you'll find us. And we're also like our Facebook page, 92.3 FM, 3ZZZ Coptic Youth Radio. And also catch us on YouTube on the CYC channel. Stay tuned. And now it's time for our spiritual segment. And in the studio with Damiana, Susan, and Mina. This week we wanted to discuss the verse, Matthew chapter 18, verse 3, where it says, "Assuredly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven." I think that's a very telling, very important verse, and I just wanted to get your opinion, guys, on what Jesus meant by that verse. What do you think?
After you, Mina.
Yep, I agree.
Riveting.
That's it.
All right. No, I think that's pretty much spot on, because I don't think there's a better way or an easier line. Like if someone asked me, like, how to get into heaven, I really think that is, like your one line, simple answer. Because I feel like in that line, it encompasses everything you should be as a Christian. So in the sense that little children.
What is it about like little children? What is Jesus trying to say? Like, what do little children have that adults don't have?
Their innocence.
Yeah, I think it is
It's the innocence.
the innocence.
Mm.
And I think I could be wrong, right? But like, for example, I feel like little children were born how Adam and Eve were originally born before they sinned. And then we slowly, like as children get older because of the sin, like they end up learning it. But children are inherently like without sin, and they don't think in evil thoughts or in evil ways. They love everyone. They don't discriminate. There's no prejudice. There's no like worldly desires, so they don't care about money, lust, any of that.
Yeah, you touched on a good point, like what Damiana was saying. It's they have this innocence about them, and Jesus is trying to tell us. Is he trying to say be innocent to enter heaven, or maybe try and be innocent in the sense of not sinning, not doing the wrong thing?
Like be pure, just as pure as children are. Like no bad thoughts, and yeah, you're right, like they don't swear, they don't care about money, all of that stuff that we care about as adults that usually is either a sin or leading to sin. Like kids don't ever have that. They share, they're just, you see them play and they're just, yeah, just so like little angels. And I feel like that's what God wants us to be. He just wants us to be so pure, just as he is so pure, that we can actually go and live with him. So I think it's a prerequisite, just a tad.
What do you think, Susan?
I
Just
agree.
flying that microphone.
No, I agree. And I guess, like, regarding innocence and purity, I guess when we sin, or how we, like, what leads us to sin, is that in-between phase. Like, so you're not just innocent and then out of nowhere you're sinning. It's that in-between. And so whether it be just because, like, I mean, children don't tend to overthink. They just do. So if they're going to grab something or do something, they just do it. Whereas as an adult, you're probably overthinking things or stressing about things or judging. As soon as you see something, you tend to respond by judgment first, and then you act on that judgment. And all of these things can lead to sin. Like, for example, overthinking or stressing can lead to lack of trust in God, which in itself is a sin. Or, for example, if you are trying to process something in your head, which kids don't tend to always do, that can lead to judging, which, again, you're sinning. So it's, I guess, that the fact that that purity and that innocence doesn't allow you, because you don't have the capacity to basically move forward and do those other things that can lead you to sinning. This mic isn't doing well for me today. But yeah, that's I guess that's how I kind of put it in my head.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to say is that, like, it's funny because that verse makes it sound like, oh, it's so easy, you just need to be like children. But I think, like, the reason we have problems is, like, exactly what you said, because it's, you don't go from one to another. It's that thought process, and then you start making decisions, and you start making good decisions or you make bad decisions, and then one decision leads to another, and you end up going into this cycle. But the thing is, I feel like as you get older, you have to, like, children are innocent, but that's because, like, I feel like I said, they're sort of made in the same essence in how Adam and Eve were supposed to be originally made, where they just know good, they don't know evil. Do you know what I mean? But then knowing good and evil also comes, like, I think to be wise, you also need to know good and evil. So if you're going to be a wise person, you have to know, like, the bad and the good. So it's a lot easier for me to be a good person if you've never introduced a bad thought in my head. So, for example, if you said, I don't know, if you made some weird association, like, oh, this person is like this because of these reasons. If I had never made that connection before, it's a lot easier for me to be pure. Yeah. But we do live in this world, and it is a harsh world. And I think in order to be wise, you do need to know that connection. And I think the greater thing to do is to understand, like, to be wise, to know the good and the evil, and yet still be like that child. So non-judgmental and everything else.
With the whole, like, knowing, like you have to know the evil to know the good in a sense, like the wisdom part of it. Like, it just, like, always reminds me of a kid who's very, very little, who's trying to cross the road, and their parents are, like, say on the other side, and you have to tell them not to, and they don't perceive that there is a risk and a danger that a car will hit them. And so they're just so innocent to the point where they're just willing to go to mum and dad. Like, they're so happy because they love mum and dad and they trust them. They don't even question that love and trust. And so they're willing to just run across without having to think of anything. For me, I just feel like that's how it should be, like, with God. Like, you should just have, like, you have that unconditional love and trust that you're just, like, you're willing not to care about anything else in the world except, like, your focus is on him. And so, yeah, it just reminds me of, like, that kind of reminds me of the innocence more. It's just they don't know that there's a perceived risk kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think by the same token, I think that's why even we love, like, little children, non-creepy. Yeah. So, like, because at work, right, I work in a really progressive pharmacy, yeah? So one of the girls brings her baby into work. So literally, like, she sits on the counter on the side and everyone works, and then, like, we'll go say hi to the baby, like, every now and then. And, like, she's not my baby or anything, but I can't help but, like, oh my gosh, how are you? How you doing? Like, could you go, like, smile, that sort of thing. And we all do it. And like, you just tend to pour out your love to little children and babies, even though you may not have any attachment to them in any way, shape, or form. Like, she's just a random person that I met at work. And I think the reason for that is because, number one, that the baby will never harm you. So there's no malicious intentions. The baby's never gonna seek out to hurt you. Whereas you're always cautious with, colleagues, friends, mates. You always think there might be, a motive behind it or whatever it is. The baby is like, it's just gonna love you. And I think like what you said, Damiana, that also they've got unconditional love. So it doesn't matter, like the baby's never met me before and I just looked at her and I smiled, and then like she'll smile back at me and she's genuinely like happy to see me. And like, she's not judging me. She's not thinking, oh, he's fat, I probably shouldn't smile at him, or he's not wearing, like this type of fancy clothes, I'm not talk to him, he's not from my caliber of social status. Like they don't have any of that.
They don't process that.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Like, they just love unconditionally. And again, I think that's what we were called to do. So one of the things...
I think that's exactly how God looks at us as children. He looks from above as as Christians, as people who are following him, exactly like that way. We don't know anything. Like, we think we know, but in reality, we don't know half the things that God is thinking or God's ways. And I think that's where we need to get to that purity side. We need to be like little children in order for God to sort of accept us into the kingdom of heaven. And I think that's what the verse was trying to say. And it's a really nice verse, and I really liked it.
That's actually a really good point. I've never thought of it that way, only because you mentioned that we don't know. There is so much that we don't know because we're just earthly creatures. But God does know so much more. And if we could, if we can take away that negativity of sin, we would be pure children. 100%. And so I guess I've never thought of it that way. I've never thought of the fact that we don't know what's out there. We don't know what's going on. And we really, if we just took away sin, we would be perfect for the kingdom of heaven.
That's perfect. Well said. That's it from us. Let us know what you guys think on our Facebook page, 92.3 FM, 3ZZZ, Coptic Youth. Stay tuned. Now it's time. We thought we'd play a little game. We haven't played a game in ages. Last time we played...
This is not a game, Mick.
Damiana got upset.
This is war.
Last time we played a game, Damiana got upset and said we're never playing a game again. And then now we've changed her mind. So
no, actually, excuse me. I just wanna say
she's already upset.
She's already defending herself.
I really am, because you are giving all the good answers, and I had nothing left to defend.
What do you mean? You give the good answers because I know the answers.
No, because
Damiana, no one remembers, so that's it. All right, this game. You've got a chance in this game. So before we went to air, Damiana thought that she could she could guess any Coptic hymn that was played.
I'm sorry, I lied, guys.
So we're gonna put her to the test, and she's gonna have Susan as her teammate. So it's gonna be both of yous against Mina. We're gonna put Susan. We're gonna put family everything aside, and it's. I
don't think she likes me
each
anyway.
to their own.
You don't need to worry about that. She was already on her side before you even said anything.
All right. This is the first one. Are you ready?
No.
So what's the rule? Do we just call out what it is?
Oh, the buzzer is your name. So
Okay.
say Mina, or what's your team name?
Go with Demi.
No, it's okay.
All right, go Demi.
No, it's okay. No, I just wanted to know, actually, another rule.
Of course, she did this last time.
No, just wait. Excuse me, wait. So if you know the hymn, like you know how to sing along to it, and you pretty much know all the words, but you forgot the name of it, what happens?
You get 0.1 of a point.
It's not karaoke.
That's not 0.1. I'm serious. I think I'm joking.
If you call out your buzzer and it's the wrong one, you get deducted a point.
Oops. And wait, what if she thinks she knows it, so she says a buzzer, but then she takes like 20 seconds to say it? There's got to be a limit.
There's a time limit, and
Let's
I'll
just
down
give the
it.
other teammate an opportunity to say it if they get. Don't deduct points.
Look, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna win anyway.
See, he's crowned himself already. You need to.
She started. She's the one who's like, I'm the best at this.
Yeah, but then
And I'm
you
like,
said,
oh really?
Yeah, but
You
I
challenged
didn't
her.
think you were good. Like, that's
What is that supposed to mean?
No, I said it.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Ready?
All right. Yeah.
All right, the first him. Let me try and do this out.
The wrong one.
All right, so first one.
No, me.
Mina.
I need the name.
Mina.
Yeah, go.
Of all nations.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's alright, Damiana.
It's alright, it was my
Maybe
fault.
next round.
I tried to help.
So
by
I'm
stealing
just
the
gonna-
microphone. I don't think
I'm
it
just gonna
worked.
say my name and we'll just say whatever.
Yes,
yeah.
agreed.
All right, next one. Are you ready?
Mina.
Mina.
Oh,
Oh no!
My
My
God.
Coptic church. My Coptic church. I know this.
I think you get too excited about singing all the time.
This is horrible.
I called that
This
Mina
is
like
the
twice
worst.
before you even said anything.
This-
All right.
You are
Objective
failing
number 1. Call out your
miserably.
name.
Yeah. I feel like the sound waves.
Can we just
we
yell it out?
we went through the rules before this.
At least I knew it. So I'm happy that I knew it.
Yes, we did
Okay.
get that one. That's okay. That was good.
All right, next one.
Mina. I placed my song to your hand.
Oh, that was a draw. We'll say that was a draw.
Really wasn't, but
It
whatever.
really says his name. I was okay.
You get good at these things.
I've always been good at these things. I'm good at everything, guys. What is this?
Please.
This is your sister, by the way.
All right, next one.
Damiana.
No.
Oh, she got it. What is it?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
She doesn't know that she's on my team.
All right, what's
She's on my
it?
team.
What is it?
I've got to keep thinking.
Should have let it.
I
play
can't
more.
keep
You
playing.
play it
Mina.
again.
No.
Mina.
You don't know it.
Mina.
Can you play it again?
Alright,
It's just like the
Both
bird.
teams need you to play it again. Just
Was
play
that
it
is
again.
that your final answer?
What is it?
Dun 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 dun. That's how it started, yeah?
Yeah.
I think he's right.
Yeah, just like the bird.
Yeah, he's correct.
That is right.
What's that?
Yeah,
Just
he's
like a
good at
bird.
music.
Oh, just
Did
like
you
a
even
bird.
Coptic?
Oh, sorry.
Did you even Coptic?
Did you even get that CD that everyone has at home from that church in Canada?
Actually, yes. زي العصفور موجات بيته. I know it in Arabic.
Oh wow, you actually said it right in
wow.
Arabic.
Yeah.
Mawagad beton.
Yeah.
I thought it was Mawagad
didn't
be
say
door. Like I thought it meant something like he was
No,
flying.
موجات بيته, like just like the bird when it found its home.
Yeah, I didn't.
That
That's
was
really good.
well, Demi. Again, you've lost,
Lost. Yeah.
and
Can we have one more
you've
time?
put,
Can we have yeah,
you've
just
put
for
Susan in
one
this.
more,
All or nothing.
just for kicks.
But you're losing.
I know.
I know
it's
you're,
an
you're,
all or
you're
nothing,
getting
all or nothing.
thrashed. But there's no comparison.
Do I get a crown?
nothing. Oh my god.
We'll have one made for you
I
next
think
week.
your ego is more than enough.
Can I get like a gold microphone?
All right, yeah.
Oh,
Susie.
Demi.
Timmy.
Go, go.
I know it, Mina.
Oh my god.
I know it. She's taking too long.
For the steal.
I know it.
Wait,
Okay.
When I
wait. You think?
I actually genuinely don't know this one.
I know it.
It flew out of my brain.
Mina, when I feel worried.
No, that's not the name. Of it.
Okay.
Wait, we're gonna continue playing it.
Yeah.
Oh, Damiana. When I feel tired.
What's
Yeah,
it
wait,
called?
To whom
That's
shall I
what
go?
I-
Yes. What else? Yes.
As
you got
if
it.
that's what it's called.
That's what it's
It is.
called.
It's to whom shall I go?
That's what it's called.
I got it first though, technically.
That wasn't all or nothing. So
And how did you? Why did you guys need to listen to it? I gave you the answer.
Oh, did you know what you said?
I said when I feel tired or worried. I think I said when I feel worried.
All right, that went great. I don't even know who the winner was. I think Mina won that one.
Probably me.
Of course it was Mina. Why am I surprised?
All right.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Be
play.
humble. Be humble.
No, because can I just say,
Message.
we weren't actually going to do this. We weren't going to do this. We had a whole other topic prepared, but Damiana came in guns blazing. She's like, we should play a game that I'd be so fantastic at.
All I said.
You did. You did.
I didn't think you guys would be like, for real, yeah,
No,
let's
you
do
didn't
it.
even think that I was that good.
Yeah, I actually didn't.
That's hopefully you guys are still with us. Stay tuned.
Next time, let's do Disney.
And that's all the time we have for you guys. Thanks again for joining us here on Coptic Radio. Thanks guys for coming in. Thanks Susan for coming in.
No problem. Yeah.
Your
Thanks for
debut.
having me.
Always welcome.
Meh.
Thanks Demi for coming in. And thanks Mina. Much appreciated. Hope you guys enjoy the program. And stay tuned for...
Can you guys feel Michael rushing? Because he can feel like the tension in the room is just too much. He's like, let's get him out of here.
Everyone's on edge at the moment. Damiana's we're
Cut
gonna
it
feel
off.
the
Cut it
wrath. Alright. Catch you later guys. See you next week.